Oh my, hello. I don't know if I could hear myself. Let's see. Let's check that out on the other phone, which is kind of slow. I wonder how this works. So let's figure out where's the chat. Okay. So I hope the audio's good because I'm just downloading this on the other old phone that I have. Okay, there, lighting seems nice. What are the other options? Let's actually try to figure this out. I wonder where I'm supposed to see the chats. Or okay, Kat is here. Hey, Kat. Audio is good. I'm here. Thank you. So we're just gonna do some chores. Actually, it's more about doing chores, hanging out with you guys while the weather's not so good. So I hope you gather your plant chores because I plan on just doing this about once a week. It's just easier that way. Although I still plan to do pre-recorded content because that's more organized. However, I'm not so opposed to this format as well because it's real time. Although we're filtered, but you could be unfiltered. With what you say, and that's it. Um, so yep, gather your chores. I think what I'm planning to accomplish today is just go through and do checks with the plants. I'll see which ones need to be watered because apparently, that's how I take care of a lot of these plants, mostly Hoyas. I do random checks every day. I'm also drinking I believe that's watermelon strawberry drink from Trader Joe's, I think. Okay. So, actually, since Kat is here, I might as well show her some updates of some of the cuttings that I got from her. So, Karma Mustafa is here. Hello, hello. Where are you from? So, I was wondering, where are you guys watching from? Kathleen didn't like the live. Welcome, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe. Big notification bell. Oh, wow. I don't know what's going on, but thank you, nobody. Thank you for, I guess, moderating the live. um yeah, if you are liking this type of content, please hit the like button. I believe that helps with the algorithm. This is something new. I just really wanted to do a virtual hangout because typically, I do this with intimate friends. We go on FaceTime while we do chores, even household chores, typically over the weekend. And I thought of like doing that same structure with all of us who have been part of this community. Okay, so going back, Kat, I need to show you that some of the plants that I got from you are already branching out, thriving. Also, I will be a little bit careful today because, um, well, how's Dane? Hello, I'm good today. I can't wait to go back to work tomorrow. There will be a lot waiting for us at work tomorrow because, Mondays. And I was wondering, how are you guys doing? Um, How do you typically spend your Sundays or your weekends? Bohos Dezen says he loves plants, and we do too. We've built a community of plant lovers, and I think that's our common denominator. So, just for every one of you who just got here, the structure is a little free flowing and quite spontaneous, impromptu, really, and we're just gonna go with the flow. I was gonna promise Kat because that Kathleen is the Hoya Habit on Instagram. I got some Hoya cuttings from her, and I'm just digging some from my cabinet over here to show you guys. Oh, here's one that I could easily access. And I did just release some beneficials so I could see them crawling. Well, this one doesn't have, it's fairly new. But what was this? This is the Hoya AH049. Oops. Look at the little beneficial mite here. Do you guys use beneficial bugs? I released them. I got some from DMV Beneficials. And we're trying the pests that we're trying to address are mealybugs, thrips. That also includes root mealies. Actually, let me go to the other cabinet because, oh, here, this one has grown a lot. Just feel free if you have any questions or if you have specific questions with a type of plant that you guys saw that I have, I would be happy. Or also like general questions about how I grow my plants, maintenance, any sourcing tips. A little background is I have been collecting, well, hardcore plants when I moved here in California in 2018. Oh, okay. So Bo Hosden says he either sleeps or read. So that's what they do on a Sunday, and that's good. Again, just to go back to the topic, I came here in California in 2018, and that's when I decided to start collecting plants and acquiring them, and 300 plants and more over. And of course, that's not counting the ones that did not make it through various moves and neglect. Um, Here we are. I do have a strong community of plant lovers over on Instagram as well. So if you guys are mostly YouTube people, feel free to check that out. I'm able to put more daily content there, especially stories, everything about my interest. I consider myself like an all-around creative, and that's quite a problem because I have various interests. I love crafting, DIY, anything visual, expressing myself. I like to tackle projects. I have appreciation for a lot of things, not just plants. So I'm a little hodgepodge of everything. Okay, so Cheese Cannabis says, oh wow, I love the room. I have 3 hydroponic grow tents. Growing is life. Okay, about that, in connection to how I grow my plants, I consider them as passive hydro, meaning we don't have like an active pump doing the hydroponic movement. However, most of my plants are just in small wicking systems and they are in self-watering pots. This one's already empty. And this is one of the cuttings that I got from Kathleen. So that's the Hoya Habit on Instagram. This is a Hoya Vang Viengensis. So when I got it, it was just these 2 leaves, I believe, and we got 3 new ones. And see, we do have some mealy situation going on in the back. I did not prepare to. Oh, actually, yeah, I have my alcohol spray. So with that, I just spray any evident mealy bugs. Yes, look, it's so. Just don't look at the back because, of course, the mealybugs got to this too. But it's growing. It has grown. I got it from her exactly a little over a month ago. And apparently, it has been liking my grow tent situation. We have 3 new leaves, a completely active stem, which I think will put out more leaves, and there's one as well. Um, Of course, the way I grow things, most of them are in these cute little self-watering planters. The way it works is it has a wick, which allows the plant to wick up some moisture from your reservoir. It has indicators on most of these planters. I have a variety of designs and types that I've acquired from various sellers, or most of them are just from Amazon, but these ones are my current favorite. So these are 3-inch pots that I get from a seller off of Facebook. And I love that the inner pots are clear, so you can see the root systems. As you can see, there's an evident root system there. And if I remember, this was unrooted, right, Kat? So it was unrooted when we got this. I have to reference because I also like taking photos and videos of cuttings or plants as soon as I get them because you cannot remember every plant acquisition, right? So I tend to keep a log for myself just so I am reminded on how they look like as soon as you got them. Ideally, I would love to make sure that there is some water in the reservoir, so I typically just give it a few gulps of water to make sure, and the indicator usually says it like that. Oh, it was fresh cut. Thank you for confirming that. So yeah, if as you can see, there's some aerial roots already. I'm actually loving this filter here on YouTube. It doesn't jump as much as the deforming ones off of Instagram. Um, Question, Cheese Cannabis, if you're still here, where are you growing? Which zone or region are you? I assume you are in the US as well. So, which region are you growing from? Is that a prerequisite that you grow them in grow tents? Because I think a lot of us are, indoor gardeners here in my in my community, and even my plant friends. Not a lot of us are fortunate to grow outside because of where we are or just our lifestyle. Actually, this is so fun. I love this. Okay, I'll return my Hoya bangviengensis because that has taken off for sure. Um, Actually, I'm now seeing all the active beneficials that I have released on, I believe that was Thursday night. It wasn't so bad. I thought I was going to be overwhelmed, but apparently they're just doing whatever they're doing anyways. So I have to look for another plant. I know there was this other one I got from Cat as well. I'm just worried that all these beneficial bugs will get to me before they get to the pests. So I'm trying not to disturb them often. Who actually, I don't know if it is doing well, but it seems like it's okay. I will show you this Hoya amicabilis silver that I got from Sam's Hoyas. I thought it was gonna put out a new peduncle, but I think it dried up a little bit. Look at that. It doesn't look so healthy though. But I think it looks good compared to how I got it. The new leaf was a little bit folded. Okay. Actually, I also want to show this to Kathleen because I know she's still watching. Kat, look, I got the Caudata intervariegated and I have them on this super cute Labubu planter. I am thinking, or hoping at least, I check this out almost every day and see if we have roots, but so far I don't see a very big one, but I noticed that the little leaves are growing. So this was a top cut, unrooted, but it looks like it'll be like 6 leaves soon and it'll continue. Yeah, this is such a tiny. I love that this Labubu planter is a self-watering planter. See, there's also a tiny wicking system, and I think the reservoir pops off. So I'm just not gonna. I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. I'm not gonna overwhelm it with water because I'm scared of that rotting. Speaking of Labubu planters, oh my gosh, look, I got this from I think they're Sandy Ego Designs on Instagram. And they have these two. I requested for them to not have any drainage holes because I was hoping that I could turn this into a self-watering planter as well. This is the version 1 of their design. And I did get a green one as well. So I think they make various colors. but I also have other Labubu designed planters. So I was wondering, for everyone who's currently tuned in, I have a little question that I need you guys to answer. I'm just preparing for, hold on, I'm just trying to get this planter here. I think I need to repot this. Oops, it's not touching water anymore. So see, hello, Diamond Painting Cutie. Thank you for watching. Welcome if you're new here. This is also new to me, so let's just enjoy this experience. So I have a question. I got these in two types of designs. One is a self-watering planter setup, which I haven't committed yet. I just tried to stick this cutting here in water. So far, it's still hard. I think I need to stick this in soil already. I think it has been hydrated well enough. Oh, I hope I didn't get any beneficials, and I could see some beneficials hanging on. So which one do you guys prefer? One that's like a full-on Labubu, or this one's that's just a head? Both could work as a self-watering planter and also could work with a drainage hole upon request. So I'm on theme. I fortunately do not have a lot of Labubus, just a handful, so I guess we'll keep it that way, right? Okay, I need to put this back because the beneficial mite is miting behind it. I do have the green and the dark chocolate brown color as well. Okay. I think I'm also good with saving my Callistophila, my regular Callistophila, which is good. I'm gonna close the cabinet. There's a lot more. Oh, you prefer the full one? I know. It has its charm, right? Either is cute though. Thank you for um tuning in, Tano, and for letting us know. The might is my thing. That is true. I believe those are um wait, where are my instructional things? Hmm. Yeah, they are my thing, cat. But I like that I could see them doing their work, and even the, what do we call these? The cucumeris, I could already see them getting out of the slow release packet. So I'm so excited that DMV Beneficials has hooked me up with those mites because I'm really trying to prepare for winter. So as soon as they get the bad um, roommates that I have over here, I'm so excited to move forward with a less pest-free winter, actually. So Tano, I do have a question. Have you collected Labubus as well? I want to show you my little pin for love Labubu because this is practically something random and usually a show and tell situation. So this is, how do you tell the difference between the good and the bad ones? We're talking about beneficial insects. Well, through the years, I mean, I would have identified the bad ones. I know what a spider mite looks like because I have some alocasias that are spider mite magnets. Typically, they end up damaging the leaves super fast and the plant declines super fast. My regular green alocasia frydek or alocasia mitocolitziana really succumbed from mites a few months ago. Right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, but still a little bit damage on the bottom ones. Um, Also, purposely, when I got the beneficial mites or the predators, I looked at what they look like. So I know next time when I see this cucumeris, they're usually like white dots. I don't think they would be visible here on this live. I would know what they look like. I also have these chunky, what do you call those? Hold on, I need to look for the, oh, here. So Cryptolaemus larvae, they look like this. They are very chunky, mealybug looking things. Of course, I hope you are. familiar with the white mealybugs. They're quite common indoor plant pests as well. So yeah, I mean, a little bit of research. Sometimes I get confused if it was a thrip or a spider mite, but a quick Google search. Usually I use my phone to zoom in. I know other plant enthusiasts use their binoculars or little microscopes, pocket microscopes, to have a close up of what the pest that they're looking at. Um, but yeah, I like to keep a visual mental picture of what the pest is once I identify them. That way, it'll be easier to spot next time. And a good telltale sign is for sure when you notice a plant is immediately yellowing out of nowhere without any reason that you could think of. Usually there are pests. Mealybugs usually cause premature yellowing or browning. Thrips have those black spots on the leaves. Spider mites also have very visible, or like they have their signature damage on the leaves as well, so you will get accustomed through the years. Fortunately, I haven't had a lot of infestations that would make me such an expert on these bugs or mites, but through some exposure through the years, it'll make you a little bit more familiar. um, I thought I had aphids, which are like more greenish yellowish in nature, but I guess it was thrips instead. Okay. Also, since we're here, I also just want to show you, because this is what. Oh, actually, I found a little Cryptolaemus larvae that fell on the floor. So this one looks like a chunky mealybug. But no, I only released them inside my greenhouse cabinet. So that one, they don't close, zoom in. There. They look like a little chunky mealybug. I have to put this back. So these are mealybugs on steroids. No, but they kill mealybugs. So I'm going to put them back in my cabinet so that they could kill any quiet mealybug that have resided in the nooks and crannies. Welcome, Tano. Tano said, thank you. Good explainings. Thank you. I tried my best to impart knowledge, because I also like to learn from other plant enthusiasts. Um, Before I show you a big plant, I'm just going to show you my Hoya pachiclada snow lotus. It's currently in bloom. I have posted it all over Instagram and my Facebook page as well. So this was a gift from Ate Pearl. She is Planty Pearl 27 on Instagram. Oh, ooh, ooh, there is a beneficial mite here. Looks like a little tiny scorpion. Um, but see, look at the blooms. I don't think they smell. Oh, actually, there is some floral fragrant smell. I'm just not an expert on all these scents, so I don't have the, I guess, vocabulary to describe them. I'm not one who has the talent to distinguish various, what do you call that? Smell. I can't tell that much. Okay, also, before I show you another big leaf Hoya, because I initially wanted to do like a big leaf Hoya show and tell, because I did manage to group them together closer, and I would think it would have been easy. This is my Hoya Sarawak. I got it from Swan Tropical. So see, this is my setup. Now there's mosquito bits at the bottom and it looks gross, but it works for me. I can't wait for this to become fuller. My goal is to get it to this height at least. Maybe give it another trellis and get chunkier leaves. Isn't this beautiful? We had some cosmetic damage when we got it in the mail, but other than that, it has perfect leaves. I hope I get it to bloom sometime. And I hope I get rid of all these fungus gnats that are flying around right now. I thought we had it under control, but I guess that's what the other beneficial mites would do. And I do have a lot of pinks laying around. So I don't know if you are familiar with carnivorous plants, but I do have pinguiculas laying around just so I could make sure that they would eat those nuts that are just flying around. I also noticed that my latifolia watermelon is already growing like crazy. So I think I need to retrellis that. Thanks, Tino. Can you tell me what type of plants do you usually collect? Because for me, I think at least 70% of my collection are Hoyas and a little bit of everything. And on the side, actually, let me show you the other types of plants that I collect. So I also have some Anthuriums over here and some Platyceriums, which are staghorn ferns. So I hope that's not too distracting when I move around the um, camera. Okay, I also wanted to show you. Oh, you collect Hoyas too. So since we are in the Hoya boat together, I would like to show you my ultimate favorite Hoya. My Hoya Meredithii. So I love that it has gorgeous veining. Now this one are leaves that have grown here in the plant room. That's why they're a little bit dark. But I took it outside as well. I mean, in the living room so that it'll hopefully grow larger leaves. Okay, why do I spot a mealybug? Let me spray that. This is actually alcohol and not hydrogen peroxide. Oh, thanks, Kat. I told you we could share this one with you. How is your Meredithii doing? I mean, it has enjoyed this um, real estate, prime real estate at home here. Honestly, I haven't babied any Hoya more than this Meredithii because it's one of my first eBay purchases ever. Thank you, Tano. Yeah, I still remember I was at the gym and I realized that this was on a bidding war and I won the bid. I didn't get to work out anymore because I got so excited that I was gonna get this. Actually, I think we even still have the original leaves, like this one is still an original leaf. And I think this one is an original leaf. Kathleen says, I'm going to show this to my Meredithia so it knows what I expect. I'm gonna show you some weird leaves. Like this one had some cosmetic damage, but my ultimate favorite leaf is what do you call that phenomenon wherein there's 2 points? Because it's this one. This one. Look, it had two tails, and it's a little tooth-shaped Meredithii leaf. Um, in the next year when it gets more, well, it gets hotter again, I'm gonna take this to a brighter light situation because I do want all the leaves to be a little bit brighter, like a little sun stressed, because I like that look. But I also don't mind the dark ones. Which one do you prefer? Like the lighter look of this or like the darker? But it did get, I mean, it grew larger leaves when it was in lower light. Oh my gosh, and it's putting out more stems, so definitely could use a chop as needed. And it always booms for me through the years. Um, so I don't like I mean, where are the peduncles? Like we still have one big one here. I think I lost some when I forgot to water it last time. Okay, like right now, it doesn't have water anymore, so where's the watering can? Oops, that's the bug zapper. As I told you, I'm trying to control this fungus gnat situation. I think I'll just turn this off because even I get shocked. Twins? Probably not. Okay, I'm gonna put this back because I just refilled it with water. I'm gonna take this back outside again later. Tano said, I'm usually a large and dark girly, but those bright leaves are so beautiful. I know, I love like yellowish green neon. You know, I remember during my earlier years in my plant collecting, I loved the neon cordatum or the neon pothos. Well, the neon epiprenum and the neon cordatum as well. Both of them actually. I love that bright, vibrant, kind of a natural green in nature, but you know, they're natural. Um, what else? Well, speaking of bright, vibrant, I love to show off my Philodendron billetier, which is a bright yellow plant over here. And I was hoping that, geez, this Hushkuliana doesn't look so good. I guess it takes a while to bounce back after getting so dehydrated. What are you guys doing? I should be doing chores actually instead of just answering questions, huh? So I'm really focused on managing the pest situation. Of course, you know, once that's down, I'm gonna have to prepare them to be wintered. I'm just gonna see. Okay, that one's drying up a little bit, but okay. I also got this variegated epipremnum. I have an neon pothos cutting rooting at the moment actually. They grow so fast and I love the look. When I used to live in Monterey, I had one draping from, you know how this 80s cabinet situation where they don't really bring it up completely to the ceilings. We had this awkward space between kitchen cabinets and the high ceilings, which are I think 12, 14 feet high. So that space was like hanging space for me, and I just let all these photos collection that I had draping. And actually, yesterday somebody commented that, you know, pothos actually flower. Quite rare in the indoor growing situation, but they do. I looked it up and cross-checked it. It is correct. I haven't had any of my pothos flower inside actually, because you know that wasn't optimal condition for them. Have you gotten any of your pothos collection Tano to flower? I mean, that's quite unusual. It says it there that it's even rare. Um, this one is a Caryota mitis variegated. So it is a fishtail palm. I have two of these because my friend, Kat, also. You just came across my Facebook this weekend and I'm obsessed with your Hoya collection. That was from Fawn Van. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your last name. Schwartorst. Um, sorry about the pronunciation, but thank you. I appreciate you joining us here today. You know, it's nice to share your collection, and I love seeing other people's collection through the years. I mean, and at various locations all over the world. You know, there's a lot of plants that are not accessible to us, and I love them thriving either in their natural habitat or as part of someone's collection. So thank you for joining today. I was just showing off a variegated fishtail palm. So this is my friend Kat's variegated fishtail palm. I have one. I'm currently, well, I consider it babysitting, um, so that we'll see how hers is growing. Actually, I'm gonna let it expand. Hers is doing so much better than mine's and Atipichi's. So this is hers, and this was mine's. Mine was the least variegated one that I picked out from the bunch, but it is finally putting out a new stem again. So let me just make sure that these are not mealybugs, because they take a while to open up. Oh, there is some mealybug here. Oh, I don't even remember if I posted the live session on Facebook. I wonder, did you just get notified, Fawn, about this live because you subscribed to YouTube as well? Or did you see the other materials telling you about this live today? Well, actually, I didn't do a great job at promoting this live because it was really impromptu. I just thought about it a few days ago. Look at that root system. Oh my gosh. So I do need to refill this because these types of ferns are quite thirsty. Where's that watering can? Okay, we'll see if I don't make a mess here. You subscribed. Oh, thank you for subscribing as well. I appreciate that support, and I will live up to the expectations that I'm here to show you my plant collection, share my knowledge as well, and just, share positive vibes. I feel like, I mean, in today's climate, all over the world, literally, we could all use a little safe space that allows us to enjoy our habits and stuff that distract us from more pressing situations. So that's how I would like to approach life. So if that's what you're after too, then I we're on the same boat. So okay, I didn't even get to put them side by side, but I got to water and refill. So this one's good. I'm also gonna show you. I know you're here probably for the Hoyas, but oh, the bloom already finished. So this is a Chimpharia, which is like a member of the ginger family. And this is a variegated one. So this is also like a variegated pink. So the leaves are pink. I mean, there are others that are, hopefully they will burn in and become more pink. I posted this on my Instagram today. And what I mentioned was, I feel like it took me about a year. I think it's over a year now for me to figure out the care of this one. I mean, it was growing in lechuza pond. For those that are not familiar, it's an inorganic substrate that I think originated in Europe. Just look that up. It's lechuza pond. I think I still have my old materials, my old videos that are about 5 years old already. So I think it is time for me to do a 5 year recap of how, you know, discovering pond during the early stages of the pandemic, like in April 2020, I started, converting my plants in lechuza pond, doing self-watering. At that point, it was such a breakthrough for me and my friend who were, of course, already crazy about Hoyas. And through the years, there are some pros and cons. For those of you that also use lechuza pond, comment down below. I mean, for me personally, I thought that after a certain period of time, if you stick with just pond, it could get just overly compact and kind of choke up the roots of your Hoyas, or it just declines out of nowhere. Prez Dazon. Hello, kapatid. Mabuhay, kapatid. Where are you from? I mean, I know probably you're Filipino too, but where are you watching us right now? Are you doing your plant chores while watching? We've been on for about 40 minutes now, so I was able to show a few plants, talked about some questions. So Tano has been using lechuza. Oprez is in Canada. Hello, kapatid from the northern. What's the Queen of the North? Canada. Um, so are you? Wait, is are we been messaging? Wow, super close up. Have we been messaging on Instagram? I don't know if you just discovered me here, but hello, mabuhay. Are you into plants as well? I hope. So Tano is saying that they have been using lechuza as well. So yes, going back to lechuza, it's been 5 years. Some plants really like it. At that point, where I've been using it for about a year or a year and a half, I believe, when I posted my lessons about lechuza, I thought that most of the plants generally like lechuza. Definitely now, 5 years down the line, my cactus and succulents never do well with lechuza. But my old pond that I use that as topping, soil topping for my cacti or succulents. Fancy, right? I use lechuza. Um, Also, yeah, Monsteras could do okay with lechuza, but I feel like aeroids in general still do better with the chunky aeroid mix. Although what really enticed me to convert my plants mostly in lechuza is the inorganic nature, because I got tired of dealing with fungus gnats, but now I'm now dealing with fungus gnats again because I have reintroduced organic substrates, or I have not converted certain plants that grow in organic substrates, so that's my bad. Mm. Fawn said, I bought one bag of pond only and tried it out on some Hoyas and they all died. Except my Crimson Princess. She's thriving. Okay, about that, did you just use pawn exclusively? Were these unrooted cuttings that you were trying to root, or were these already established plants? Did you make sure you rinsed out the roots completely so that when you convert them from, let's say, soil to lechuza pond? Yes, in my experience, some of the Hoyas experience shock. But if you leave out some of your original substrates, sometimes that is what causes the decline. A recent experience is I bought a variegated Kanya Kumariana, which was already established. I see that the roots were strong, the foliage were growing, and it already has tiny buds. However, like when I repotted it in lechuza pond, what I did was keep the original substrate on the side, pre-filled or backfilled it with lechuza pond on the side and on the top, and it just didn't like it. Eventually, it rotted. Um, a few things that I think would give me a better prognosis per se is I should have left the plant to acclimate for about a week or two before even trying to touch it. It wasn't in self-watering setup, so maybe the self-watering also kind of choked it and made it rot. Also, like, I probably should have not put pond on top because it was probably like choking. I mean, it was in such a very airy mix. That's why I assume it would have not done so well. Tano said, I have both chunky mix with soil on some and pond. Actually, right now, that's kind of my setup as well. I do have my own mix, which is some cocoa coir, some perlite. I prefer chunky ones, but sometimes I get the finely mishandled ones off of Amazon, so they become very fine and porous. And then I try to mix some with cocoa husks as well. And sometimes I have leftover fluval stratum or horticultural charcoal. I try to mix all of those and then just do pond on top because I like to put pond on top to make sure that if there is any fungus gnats, even though I think that substrate mix is inorganic, it wouldn't get to it. Prez says, I used to use lechuza pond, but I found it too heavy and compact for my plants, so I mix my own pond mix now. Agree. And me, I don't consider my mix as a pond mix anymore, but yeah, there is some pond mixed with it. And same experience. I noticed that it could get too heavy, especially like I feel like I need to repot some of my Monsteras because I just have them in pond and they haven't been thriving. I mean, they have grown, yes, but I don't feel like they could get a better soil mix for fun. And you have a Hoya linearis. I have one in soil mix doing so well. It has peduncles on every strand. Okay, that I hope to see. Yes, I do have a Hoya linearis. Let me just try to take it out. Okay, so it is quite a success story and also a tragic story when it comes to my Hoya linearis. So during 2020, okay, so I started collecting early in 2018. Okay, March 2018 is when I started collecting plants when I moved here in California. But, I used to even import plants from Poland. Shout out to those who know greenhouse. What was the thing? Polskie greenhouse. So I just noticed that my Linares is already thirsty. So I have mine growing in some coco coir. Excuse the dry substrate, but this is the root system now. I think I have pond at the bottom. So it's coco coir and pond for this one. I noticed that if it's exclusively pond, that's what happened. I had a full 8-inch platter. Imagine this, but times five. It was so full and thick and draping. I'm glad I took pictures of that as evidence, but a friend gifted me a very full pot of Hoya Linares as part of our collaboration. Shout out to my lovely friend Steph. If you don't follow Secret Garden Designs 18 on Instagram, please do support her small business. She is located here in Brentwood, in California. Um, so I made my first few Linares cuttings thrive, but this one are the surviving strands of a 2021 plant that was so full, and then I kept it in pond. It was doing so well. It loved the Monterey humidity because Monterey in California, for those who are not familiar, Monterey is like fall weather all year round. We only have harsh summer heat during September. Speaking of heat, I'm like sweating like a pig right now. Anyways, excuse that. Um, so that Linares really liked that setup. It was hanging in the back window of a back bedroom, and the windows were open every now and then, so there was a lot of circulation. This is what's left of that full 8-inch pot Linares. I mean, now it is longer, but it's not as full anymore. And I thought I planned on repotting it in a bigger pot, but you know what? I think I'll just keep it in a manageable size like this. And I'm seeing that there are some mealybugs on top. But other than that, I think I'm going to put some beneficial mites on this one because this one tends to get some pests. So my primary goal for my Linares is for it to be thicker, and then maybe next year or maybe this winter, I'll hope that I get it to bloom as well. You know what? Let's spray some alcohol just to make sure there's no mites that survive. Okay, how long have you had your Linares pond? Um, Thanks, Tano. I was wondering what are your growing conditions to make it bloom? Because I haven't really been successful in getting this to re-bloom here in this climate. I'm in the Bay Area, but this is too hot. The city where I live is like sunny 285 days of the week. And that's why I have to put my Linares a little bit farther from, I just broke a leaf, a little bit farther from the window so that it's cooler. Okay, we have some casualty. Okay, and definitely the Linares is one of my favorite Hoyas. I love the trailing look. So let me just move you guys there. And we have some more Labubu planters, if you could spot. Um, ooh, actually, let me show you some of my favorite variegated Hoyas now. I didn't get to bring it on today's live, but I love my Hoya Curtisii. Oh, it's also in an 8-inch hanging basket. I missed that. Okay, you're on your second one. Okay, you live in southern Alberta, Canada. Okay, first of all, my Canadian brothers and sisters, I am so amazed by your indoor, or well, in general, just your plant growing skills. I live in California and the weather's never too harsh here. I grew up in the Philippines and I'm used to the tropical weather, and you just toss a stick of whatever plant you toss, it still survives. So it is a challenge to try to grow indoors. It takes some skill, talent, and prayers, and a little bit of fairy dust to make that happen, in my opinion. So growing an 8-inch plant, or specifically a Hoya linearis in Canadian weather, is amazing. Okay, Tano is also saying I'm in Norway, and that's also harsh. Very cold winters. Well, based on what I know, I haven't been, but I am hoping to visit my friend Emilia someday in Norway. Fawn said, "Did you have a plant collection in the Philippines?" Well, I took care of my mom's plant collection that I think is still with her mostly. Um, but what does plant maintenance look like to me? Every afternoon, typically around 4 o'clock, I'm just tasked to water the plants. The type of, let me describe it, our front yard. Our front yard has a big guava tree that covers most of the house and gives us shade most of the day. And then we have gigantic bird's nest ferns that are, um, what do you, mounted on specific strategic branches of our guava tree. So let's say our guava tree is laying sideways and it'll split into two branches. There's a big fern there, and every significant branch has a big bird's nest fern that's probably on an 8 to 10-inch net basket filled with all those black rhizomes of ferns, and they're gigantic. So you water those. We also have Spanish moss draping in our guava tree. And then we also had asparagus fern. So my mom really liked a lot of the tropical green, non-flowering ornamental plants, as we call them in the Philippines. So I'm the primary caretaker. It's quite rare. I don't remember having a plant inside the house because we had space to grow them outside. She has some purple oxalis. We had some euphorbias. We also have, some moringa plant, another guava tree in the side by the garage. So it's typically ornamental plants, and whatever fern or epiphyte that my grandma would bring her, because my grandma, who lives in the country, would visit us, brings us sacks of rice every few months or every other month, I think. She would bring my mom some plants too from her garden. So that's my plant collection. I didn't really own them, but I kind of took care of them. Um, so Tano is saying that in Norway, they get to negative 15 degrees Celsius and up to negative 20. So I am talking to my friend. I think I don't remember where she's at specifically, but yes, taking the plants indoors, having a grow tent, making sure that they're inside the house, protected from the extreme weather. That's a lot. I mean, this is my just the proximity of my plant room. Let me just show you. This is it. Majority of my plants are already here, and some grow cabinets and shelves here, and then some succulents here outside. That's basically majority of my collection. So I mean, it doesn't take a lot for me to protect them from the weather, and of course I do have some in the living room. Yeah, I mean, they normally adjust to the weather, and I do have some plants behind this camera on top of like a dresser as well. That sounds amazing. We can see negative 40 degrees Celsius during our winter regularly. I have a heated garage that I bring my outside plants in for the winter months. Okay, that sounds amazing actually. Um, a heated garage and heated floors sounds amazing. I'm such a tropical person. I also lived in the Middle East. I'm more of a desert boy than someone who would enjoy extreme North or Nordic weather. I would not survive. Tano says, my setup is beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I have not had the time to bring my favorite courtesy. So if you notice, I do love my basic Hoyas because they have sentimental effect, sentimental value to me. But this one is something fairly new that I got. This is a Hoya courtesy inner variegated. I got this from Sam's Hoyas and it has been thriving. I know I put some chunky cryptolamus here. I don't think it's still here, but it did leave a lot of its white residue. But courtesy eyes, once they're established, they thrive. So this one's already branching out, and I think we're gonna have a full one. So I just wanted to show that off. And this is a Hoya nabawensis. Okay, this I'm really proud of because I got this as an unrooted cutting. Let's see if the reservoir. So there's no no more water in the reservoir. Okay, so when I have them, of course I have to remove the algae in the water indicator. Someone asked me off on Facebook, like, what do I do if the roots started growing off the wicks? I said I just leave them or let them be because that means the plant is reaching for a water source. Actually, you might not see, but the little cryptolamus thingy, the chunky bug, is sleeping in between the thing. Tano add to wish list. Yeah, I realized that they were so rare. Well, not real because I have access. I'm fortunate here in my location that there's so many Hoya enthusiasts. So we have definitely there's always someone growing that rare Hoya that you could buy from. So it's not so out of reach. But I got this as a one leaf cutting for $35 and I was so proud that I am able to grow it to this. Prez, nice. It's still so expensive here in Vancouver. Unfortunately, someday. Hoya Curtisia intervariegated, you mean? Oh, okay. You know what? I think I just got mine for. Okay, not to make you jealous or jealous, but I think that was just $15. But it was such a small cutting. I mean, considered rare, but we have access to it. I also have an outer variegated, which is somewhere here. Let me see if I could dig it up for you so you could at least see it, right? I also, since I got this out of the way, I got this earlier this year as well. I'm sorry about the white thingies. They are from the beneficial bugs. Okay. $15. Yeah, I think it was 15 or 20. Follow Sam's Hoyas on Instagram. I'm not paid to, but I'm not gonna gatekeep the nice sources of plants. So see, this is what I mean. Is this still healthy? Yeah, so when the roots are grasping for more moisture, I just let them be. Now I have been learning that, when I refill the reservoir, it should just directly go from the bottom. I used to top water them a lot, but I mean, some do not like it. Ideally, I would clean this indicator up, but I could still see the water level anyways. Chris Raphael Crawford says hi. Hi. Where are you from, Chris? Thanks for joining. Oh my gosh, we have been here for almost an hour. I have not even noticed. So Prez says, I'm jealous for sure. That's why I just watch your channel and Ate Peaches. Oh, thank you for watching Ate Peaches as well. We are real life plant friends, and Ate is so generous as well to share her plants with me. Speaking, you might have heard about this, but she shared a Hoya yin yang yensis variegated. Okay, you know what? Let me get that later on. But I'm still gonna show you the courtesy Prez so that you could at least see what the inner No, sorry, the outer variegated looks like. You see, this is the outer, and this is also dry. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Slacking off on watering the plants. So typically, I just leave them. Sometimes when I get lazy, I try to really fill it to the brim up until where the indicator tells me. This is also okay. Okay, thank God I. So this is a Hoya clamshell, no ID. It's quite rare. Is this? I have to air out this thing because there's so many things growing on it. It's the moisture in my cabinet. I'm glad that it's such a porous solution that it's in. But the clamshell no ID got burnt when we left it at Ate Peachy's car, and I forgot that it was outside. So, but I see a little nub, so there is a chance that it'll grow into a beautiful specimen still. Chris Rafael Crawford says, you have a big collection. That's not even all of it. So go watch my YouTube, my Hoya collection video. I think that was just 2 months ago, but honestly, I feel like I've added at least 50 more or so from that Hoya tour, which is crazy because, I mean, I just got a lot recently and I still have coming. Should I do an updated Hoya collection? I think I need to do that before winter hits. Well, actually, we're already in fall, but you know, you guys know what I mean. Oh, okay. I think I need to take this opportunity to show off this wish list Hoya that I got recently. I have to take this, put this down so that I have a better. Yeah, I'll put this courtesy eye here on top because it deserves a better spot. Okay. It actually, the new thing rotted, but it'll be okay because it's established. I know, Kat, you're also one to blame. Kathleen is my consentidora friend. I would buy a few cuttings and she would send me even more. It's so unfair. She is so generous. Okay. Oh my God, I see new roots. So this is, oh, speaking of Kathleen, you are the one who enabled me to get this. Look at this new roots on this Hoya Gununggading Ghost. Now, I'm kind of nervous because it's all in pon and the new growth kind of died off. Let's see if I could. Yeah. But I think it'll just sprout again anyways because Hoyas have no choice but to grow. But look at this, Hoya Gununggading Ghost. This was such an amazing price. If it was you, would you remove this old stem and cut it to this at the bottom, or you would leave it alone? It's so pretty. Did we? Oh, we got this from Hoyas, AWE Hoyas. Super cute. I'm not disclosing how much I got this, but it was such a steal. This is Kathleen's fault. By the way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I did not expect that we would have such an active, well, I hope I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun. Such an active conversation today. I promise that next week I will pre-schedule and I will have a better plan on what I will show and tell. Because this one's just really spontaneous. I'm even tempted to just show you my skull pandas and my labubus next because the plants are planting all right, but oh my gosh, it doesn't fit anymore. Uh, okay, where am I gonna? Okay, okie dokie. I do have. This was a gift from Sigrid. Ah, oh no, my one of my beneficial insect packets fell. Let me put it here. because I want you to keep this Gurunggadingo safe from anything and everything. So my friend Sigrid, let me move this. Why am I giving myself a hard time? Gifted me Hoya Serpent Silver, and the genetics on her plant is amazing because they're mostly silver, with the exception of this one stubborn leaf that shows green. But yes, you could see the little chunky beneficial mite sleeping. Oh, there's another one of those larvae thing. Go hunt those. I don't think this has any mites, but yep. Okay, also our Hoya, what's this? What's this Hoya again? Verstigii. I have to repot that once my larger self-watering planters arrive because I do not trust myself with a non-self-watering setup. Kathleen, are you done folding the clothes? I hope you're done doing your chores. Prez, what do you collect if you're still here? What type of plants do you collect? Oh my gosh, I need to cool down. I need to increase the ventilation here. Can you guys hear the purifier? Is it distracting? Oh yes, mostly. And what's your setup in Vancouver? Do you have to have like a grow tent? I know most of the people have grow tents or greenhouse cabinets, such as the one that I just showed. Are you able to like grow them on ambient humidity most of the year? Because I know some. Forgot her Instagram handle, but she grows anthuriums even in ambient humidity. So I don't know how do you guys do that because here, I mean, I feel like grouping them together is an advantage. Actually, like I still have a humidifier here because such a I need to water my platycerium. It's becoming limp, but my Hoya polynura keeps on dropping the outer variegated leaves, and it's just now continuing with this all white leaf. I hate this. I don't want it to completely succumb to, I don't know, whatever pest they're going through. Just regular home environment, but I am a rebel, so I just adapt everything to my conditions. If they die, I guess. Actually, yes, I used to just abide by that principle. Like you either thrive or not survive, and that's it. Um, but through the years, I have, acquired a taste for certain hard to keep alive plants, and it's like shooting myself in the foot if I don't give them the ideal conditions. So that's how I ended up with a greenhouse cabinet just last year. So it's been a year. It's only been a year. Unlike others who've had it, for the longest time, I only surrendered a year ago because I did want, to try ambient, but also like with whatever shelving situation I have with modern shelving, it is very effective. I love that plants just grow in ambient light. I mean ambient humidity, but also like with cabinets like this, it's kind of hard to squeeze the little cuttings that I have been acquiring lately. So that's why greenhouse cabinets are quite helpful. I'm hoping really like that the beneficials would do their best. I'm giving them about 2 weeks to devour everything because I'm tired of all these hungry pests. Like I tried almost everything, but my problem is I'm not consistent with whatever treatment I do. So that's the problem. 60. Okay. So I guess we will have 20 more minutes. What else do I have to do? Like I have Okay, other than plants, name something that you also collect. Plant accessories, planters do not count. So lately, I'll show you some. So I already showed you that I have some Labubus, which are quite cute. I have the small ones. I only collect green Labubus, by the way. And I have the big into energy on the other room. But lately, I have been collecting skull pandas as well. These are like the similar to Labubus, but they are, what do you call them? Like girly, fairy looking babies with weird makeup looks. So this is, what's her name again? Mm. Oh my gosh, I'm blacking out. What is her name? I forgot. Moldy Muffin. I think this is Moldy Muffin. So I got her today. But I love the green ones actually. My ultimate favorite is Pond. So I collect these as well. And I think I should stop because I should just focus all my resources towards plants and plant accessories. They're already hard to maintain. So let me show you another one. So I also luckily got the pair of these. This is Darkness. You collect fish. That's my other hobby. Okay, fun. I also had like a fish pond outdoors growing up. So also I'm a real life fish, meaning I'm a Pisces. And I always think of myself as a mermaid. I do love the sea, but I don't go to the beach as often as I need to. Are these, what are these distinctions? Like freshwater fish or saltwater fish that you like collecting? Or just, are they different categories of like tropical fish like the betas and those fancy decorative fish? Freshwater and aquatic plants. Nice. I have a little aquarium. Not aquarium, but I don't have any fish in it. I have a little aquatic setup, and I only have some, what do you call those? Buckwheats or something. I'm trying to grow some cuttings on it, and hopefully, when I feel confident, I could grow one beta fish or something. But I'm still waiting to see if I could thrift a little medium-sized aquarium and maybe get into fish again because I love having fish around. But you know, it's more complicated here. I need like a heater and all that. Okay, so Prez was asking Fawn if she grows plants in the aquarium. So earlier 2018 or 2019, I had like a little one gallon aquarium with one fish in it. And whenever I had to change the water, I would use that, fish poo poo water to water my plants. And it felt like it really did a lot for the plants at that time. So when the fish passed, didn't restart that anymore, but it was on for over a year. Um, I think you really need to get into rooting some cuttings in your aquarium setup. Juan says, my sister in law is also from the Philippines, and I love when she shows me pictures of her childhood home. Her family was like your mom and had lots of greenery, plants everywhere, and a pond. Oh, yes. So, on the block, on the subdivision, we're known as like that house with plants bursting out of the property. Like we had asparagus ferns peeking out of our um, gates. We had like that big guava tree with gigantic bird's nest ferns and tillandsias or Spanish moss draping. And there's just so many ornamental plants around it. Like the side of our house was lined up with green peace lilies that I still remember my mom's was frustrated that they don't flower because they were in the shade at that point. But peace lilies bloom indoors and we're in the shade. So I guess it was just the quality of soil that we had on that side of the house. So also with my grandma, I think she loved the epiphytes when she was still alive. She had orchids. I think we had some Dischidias for sure, and those microgramma ferns growing in those trees effortlessly. Because I remember when we would visit during summer, I would admire like all the ferns that I would see on this side of the highway, just growing effortlessly. It was just tropical. So no house plants yet, but you've been tempted to try. Yeah, right now I have a little Monstera adansonii cutting growing in this. I have a Croniana mint lacunosa mint coin. Oh, actually it rotted. So let me just pull this. It's not a success. So I'll show you the fail. Rotted. So dispose this for sure. Yeah, I really want to get into the aquatic plants as well. Actually, aquascaping is also part of the long list of things that I wanted to try and accomplish. But, with any hobby, it takes a lot of resources. And I don't know if I really want to get into it in a bigger scale, but, just look up aquascaping on Instagram. And oh my gosh, the creations of like underground landscape. I mean, not underground, but underwater landscapes, and everything is literally underwater with fish. It's like a dream. Like I could imagine it as a miniature scene, um, which is a must, honestly. Okay, I need to show you guys this Hoya because I thought it wasn't doing well until I realized that it's about to bloom. Oh my gosh, this thing. Oh, I think these are like mold or something. Let's just double check we don't have some beneficial. I need to wash these planters because they are stained so bad. This is a Hoya vaccinoides and it's about to bloom again. Process to a. Okay, oh, there's some dry tips. Since we're here doing chores, I hope you guys are also doing chores while just having me in the background. That's why I wanted this format because what my favorite vloggers are always on live streams and I just like to listen to them answer questions or showcase. But it's just like having someone present while you're doing chores, and I like that people could refer to this would be their weekly habit to tune in to when we do question and answer, and it's fun sharing a little bit of everybody's lives. Prez says, closest to an aquarium for me is growing my philodendron tortum in a clear vase successfully. It's about 3 feet now in water. Ooh, okay. Now I'm tempted because where's my tortum? I have a baby tortum here, and it's not. Did I convert it into a self-watering pot? I don't think I did, but I have a big one in the living room, and I'm afraid because the last four leaves have just rotted, and I think there's some pest situation, but I did put some beneficials to hopefully take care of it. I think it was thrips. So let me, you know what? Let me, while you guys are watching, let me try to grab that tortum. So this is how I get to my plants. I have this little stool made of mango wood, and it's just a little balancing act. Okay, I know this needs to be watered because I don't water these often. So, I love the tortum. It's one of my wish list philodendrons before, even when it became affordable. Okay, so see, I love the tortum. I also love the polypoides. I regret not taking a video when it was in its full glory early this year before some pest got to it. But, we'll just do that next year when it bounced back from all this awkward situation. I love the philodendron tortum. Oh, we need to cut this. It's already broken anyways. There we go. That's the Tordome. I have a gigantic one, which is in a, is it even considered 12 inch? Maybe 14-inch pot. Um, and it's in a big ass West Elm pot that I got for a good deal online, but not off Facebook or something. But yeah. So fortunately, I converted this into a self-watering planter, which doesn't get watered anyway. So it's just bursting. The roots are bursting. Um, it'll be some water roots at this point, but we'll put this back. How do you guys get hold? Like, I mean, I know my setup is a little bit weird. It's like a store shelf, but how do you guys get to your out of reach plants? So we are risking our lives every time a little bit. Okay. My Hushkiliana, it just bloomed for me again this year after trying to grow it. So I hope, okay, some of the leaves are bouncing back, but I have left it to dry for too long, and that's why it's a little bit wrinkly. Fawn says, "Oh, you love my setup. Thank you." But she says, "I'm tall, so I use my arms." I mean, these are, I could reach them, but it's really hard to get hold of these plants that you have to do a little balancing act. Oh, another good deal that I got. I think this was within the month. You could have a sense of how insane my Hoya acquisitions are in the past few. Press. So jealous. Yeah. Sana all. In Filipino, we say sana all. How tall are you, Fawn? I'm just 5'8". How tall are you, Prez? But no short king shaming here, okay? This is Hoya. What's this again? Albo. Fawn says, "Do you guys ever buy clearance plants and rehab them?" Clearance plants, meaning bought off some plants from Home Depot, Lowe's before, not since before COVID, because I used to just hunt for specific calatheas. I know, cringe. Calatheas. I was in my calathea phase around 2019. And yes, even if they didn't look so healthy, I would still get them because I know I wouldn't come across those type of calathas and again. So okay, so Fawn is 5'9", but if I go on my tippy toes and extend my arms, I can reach anything with a pair of tongs. Oh, okay. So Prez is 5'3". Ah, okay. It's cute, right? Pocket size of cuteness. We can reach anything with a step stool. Um, what else do I want to show you guys? I really don't want to disturb all these predatory mites, actually. I have to put. So, do you guys agree that this vaccinoides just looks like a little. What is this? Engleriana. It looks like a little Engleriana, but it's about to bloom. Let me put this back. Okay. Okay. Just 7 more minutes because I do have to think of dinner while wrapping up. Actually, it's just about to be 4 o'clock, but geez, the cloudiness outside, I don't like it. I don't like this cloudy weather. Where is my little sprayer? Let me spray. I'm just spraying my plants. I mean, my mounted miniature orchids. Oh, you just ate dinner. Yeah, Vancouver. What time is it in Vancouver? Oh, 4 p.m. Okay, so Prez and I share the same time zone. fun. What time is it there? So going back to clearance plants, calathea clearance, which was a bad idea because calatheas die off in their natural state anyways, and getting them unhealthy, such a bad idea. What plants have you gotten? Okay, 5 p.m. What plants have you guys gotten off clearance? I try to set myself up for success, honestly, but I did not clearance, but I actually adopted pest infested and sick plants. Let me show you what my recent adoption was. So this is off of our local plant group's meeting. Actually, this needs to be watered. What the hell? There's yellowing, but we have new leaves. So this was allegedly a Hoya pandurata SSP angustifolia plant that often would get infested with mites and was ready for adoption. So I adopted it because in July I got a cutting of this about this size, which was rooted already and was, treated for infestation. But I really liked it. I was able to share even half of that tiny cutting to a friend because we liked it. It was, the leaves are so skinny, which I wish I was. Just kidding. But yeah, I have like a bigger leaf pandurata. So getting a thinner one, I'm curious if it's growing condition. So that's why I was tempted to adopt this, even though I was told that it was usually a mite magnet. So I'm giving it a preventive thing, which I need to move because you need to be here in the middle. Okay, so these are larvae here. So far so good. Like the leaves are becoming darker. They're still growing, skinny, and we'll see. So that one was not clearance, even better, free. But that was a disadvantage. It was mite infested, allegedly, but it's doing so well so far. Fawn said, I bought 2 Boston ferns this year, two for $5, and I cut them back and they grew back so beautifully. Okay, Fawn. Maybe you could, because recently I challenged myself to grow a maidenhair fern again. Um, I kept it in a cloche and then I forgot to water it. But I have to cut this back. Um, I'm trying to record myself doing that because apparently it's growing out new things. I have to cut it down and then I'll grow it back. Maybe repot it in a self-watering planter because I know it'll do so much better and protect it from the humidity changes by putting it in a cloche situation. But I want to film it because I have a beautiful fern just a few months back and then now it's down to this. So it'll take a while. But this wasn't on clearance, but it looks like a clearance plant now. How unfortunate. Okay, any more questions, you guys? Oh my gosh, I guess I'll just do an hour and a half for this week. But next week, okay, next week I will try to film because I am expecting a few plants, of course. I have some celebratory plants coming in the mail. Um, I will show that off on the live next Sunday. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm also gonna try to film the actual unboxing. So for those that would not be able to join us live next time, we could, they have an unboxing video. But I will be leaving the live session on so that people, if they need someone to talk in the background, I talk a lot anyways. They could always just comment, or it's such a free flowing conversation. Like again, I would like to express my gratitude for spending your Sunday with me today. I really appreciate it. I thought I was gonna talk to myself, but it's not so bad. We have a few of you constantly interacting with me today, despite the gloomy weather, which well, it doesn't look so gloomy, but it is gloomy. It's only 4 o'clock. You would typically see sunlight peeking out of this rainbow film. Um, I'm glad that I was able to spot check some plants and make sure that they're watered. That's quite helpful. I was able to talk about, some plants that I'm more passionate about. Got to learn about you guys. I really appreciate the interactive comments. But yeah, I guess it works. It's a thing. I will be. Yeah, Kathleen says gloomy for California standards. True, we are quite spoiled about the sun status over here in the Sunshine State. But yeah, I mean, that's it really. I appreciate you guys. And I don't even know how to end this. What's this plus thing? But that's it. If you want constant content, follow me on Instagram. I also have a page on Facebook. It's also Cyril Cybernated. Feel free to comment on the community post or comment down below if I haven't discussed something or you have a specific question. I'm still in the process of gathering, all those questions. I don't think like a Q&A preset video is a good idea, but I'd rather have like live sessions so that we have a more interactive conversation, right? Thank you again, Prez. Nice chatting with you all. Have a great day, everyone. And thank you, Kathleen. I hope your laundry is done as well. Thanks, guys. Let me figure out how we could end this. Okay, that's it. Take care. Bye. Ingat.